Hey guys, we're back for another week of the A game. App State football defeated Sun Belt opponents, the Arkansas State Red Wolves last week and the Louisiana Raging Cajuns this week. And for the first time in school history, App State is ranked 25th in the nation in the AP poll.
Stay tuned as we bring you a recap of this week in App State sports. Clifton Duck was named a mid-season All-American by USA Today, and Zach Thomas was added to the 2018 watch list for the Manning Award.
The women's and men's basketball teams held media days in preparation for their upcoming seasons. We've got a Mountaineer spotlight this week that you don't want to miss, so stick around for our Player of the Week. I'm Gray Salter.
And I'm Austen Lopp, and this is the A Game.
Appalachian State has long awaited the honor of entering the NCAA football AP Top 25 rankings, and this week they have finally done it. After a hard-fought win on Saturday against the Louisiana Raging Cajuns, the Mountaineers snagged the 25th ranked spot in this week's polls. Louisiana certainly made App State work for this win as the game was tied 10-all nearing the end of the first half. A fumble recovery by Jordan Fair set up the Black and Gold's first touchdown, and Darrington Evans broke the tie with just over 2 minutes left in the second quarter with a touchdown catch. Zach Thomas placed the ball perfectly over the shoulder of Evans as he received heavy contact from the pass rush. Evans also opened the second half with a 65-yard run, which brought the Neers down to the Louisiana 6-yard line. Marcus Williams Jr. was able to punch that one in to extend the Mountaineer lead to 24-10.
Late in the third quarter, App State's defense came up with possibly the biggest play of the game on a 4th and 2 stop on their own 32-yard line as the Cajuns were looking to narrow the score margin. After a punt by Clayton Howell that took a friendly App State bounce to the 1-yard line of Louisiana, App State forced another 3rd and out. The ensuing drive led to Chandler Staten's game-clinching field goal with 2:46 left on the clock.
The Raging Cajuns made a late pushback after a touchdown drive and a successful onside kickoff attempt, but Appalachian State, thanks to some stellar defense, was able to hang on and defeat Louisiana 27-17. The Mountaineers improved to 5-1 overall and 3-0 in the Sun Belt, tied with their Thursday night opponent Georgia Southern for the first place in the Eastern Sun Belt Division.
And Gray, you mentioned it, but I think a big key to App State being successful is that defense. App State actually leads the nation in defending on third down conversions. On Saturday, UL only went 6 for 16 on third downs and 0-2 on fourth down conversions. And it's so important to be able to get the ball in the hands of your offense and have the defense prevent those other teams from chewing up the clock. I think it has a lot to do with why App State can score so much, because they have so much time on the field because of that defense.
You're absolutely right. In the second half, you can almost see that play out because of how little they're allowing other teams to score that defense. The ball is in the offense's hands so much. People aren't scoring in the second half against Appalachian State. They've only allowed 7 points in the second half of play in the last 5 games they've played. They're outscoring opponents 83-7 in the second half since the Penn State loss. So, I mean, defense really just dominating the second half of play.
Right. Defense, extremely important. Offense was a little bit more of a question this week. Jalen Moore, we saw that ankle injury on Tuesday, but still App State able to rush for 263 yards this week. Darrington Evans with 183 yards and a touchdown, and Williams Jr. actually with a touchdown as well. So the ball still being able to move, which a lot of people were scared about, and I think it's really, really good for App State fans to see, as well as the team to see that we can still move the ball even with that big injury.
And people have been criticizing App State's schedule. It's not like this next man up mentality is coming against teams that are no challenge for the Mountaineers.
Right.
I mean, the last 2 teams they've beaten, Louisiana and Arkansas State before that, each at the time were number 1 in the West Division of the Sun Belt. So they're beating some of the better teams in the Sun Belt Conference. And then this week on Thursday, they go down to Georgia and they play the number 1 team, well, co-leader of the East Division in the Sun Belt. So they've got a tall task ahead of them this Thursday.
Right. And we finally reached that top 25. We do have the game against Georgia Southern coming up this week. Georgia Southern is 6-1, 3-0 in the conference. They beat Arkansas State, which, like you said, was the leader of the West. And so now I really, really think that we have to go in with a good mentality. Don't be too cocky. Yes, we got the top 25. Yes, we're favored by 74%, I think was what the number was. But still, it's super important that we go in, go to work, and hopefully pull out a win and maybe go up a little bit more in the rankings.
Well, absolutely. Like you said, Appalachian State is a 74% favorite in that game. App State will go down to Georgia to take on the Eagles this Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. That game will be televised on ESPNU.
Coming up after the break, Mountaineer Spotlight host Jay Boyd sat down with Tae Hayes of the football team.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
Jay Boyd here for Mountaineer Spotlight with senior cornerback Tae Hayes. How does it feel to be here for your senior season?
I mean, it's good. It's always good to come in and graduate and play all 4 years because most people don't get to do that. Or most people don't do that. So, I mean, when you get a chance to do that, it's always good. And I'm just happy to be a part of this team.
You've been a staple in the defense the last 3 years. How does it feel to lead your team for one last time?
I mean, it's just what I like to do. I mean, I love football, so, I mean, I'm just being myself, really. So, I mean, football is fun to me, and I love my teammates, and I know they love me, and we want the best for each other, so we just give it all for each other.
You got some pretty good cans. You use them pretty often. What other sports did you play in high school?
I played basketball. I played soccer in middle school a little bit, but that's about. I just played basketball, football, and soccer, though. I never ran track or anything.
If you played anything else in college, what would it be?
I really wish I would have played baseball in high school. I'd probably try to play baseball or basketball. I like basketball, so maybe baseball and basketball.
What has it meant to be here at App for the last 4 years?
I mean, it means a lot. I mean, going to school, it means a lot. I mean, I'll probably be the first to graduate out of my family. And, you know, I mean, that's just a lot. My family be happy for me, having a degree. So, I mean, that all, it's just a lot. It's a good thing for me.
For your last season, your senior season, you have a new defensive back coach. How does it feel to make that transition this year?
I mean, it's good. I mean, Coach Brown's a good defensive coordinator. He knows the call. He knows the defense. He's been around here for a long time. And, I mean, he's just a good coach. I'm used to him, so it's not that much of a change for me. But, I mean, for other guys, it could be. But, I mean, he's been around for a long time, so it's like we're all together.
You've had a few changes in the secondary as well. You guys have been a pretty close-knit group the last couple of years. How does it feel to be comfortable with your teammates back there?
I mean, it's always fun. I mean, we just got Coach G, and he's coming along good. But, I mean, from the first day, he just felt like a family member. So, I mean, we're all just trying to be the best players we can be, and they're trying to be the best coaches they can be. So it just works out perfect.
What's a goal that you guys as a secondary set to begin the season?
Just to be the best defensive back group in the country. I mean, we want to lead in picks and everything. I mean, we just want to be the best. We want to be better than everybody, no matter what it is, SEC, ACC, it doesn't matter. We want to be the best, and I mean, we all have that in common. We all want to be the best, so that's the good thing about our group.
And you guys have been pretty close to the best.
We're trying to.
So who's your best friend on the team?
I mean, I got so many friends on this team, I couldn't even pick a best friend. I mean, we all hang together as a group. Like, we're all pretty close. We all have fun with each other. Yeah, so, I mean, I really couldn't even say it, just a best friend like that.
Guys that a lot of people associate you with is your fellow cornerback friend, Clifton Duck. How does it feel to play across from him one more time?
Oh, I mean, that's my boy. I mean, we played together last year. And, I mean, that's my boy. We've both grown up together a lot. I mean, we've seen each other down, so we've been through a lot with each other. So anytime you play with somebody like that, I mean, you'll always have that connection with somebody, so that's always fun.
Who's the biggest jokester out of the defensive backs?
Out of defensive backs? I mean, we're all pretty funny. I mean, it'll either go from me to maybe Des Franklin to Stephen Jones to Duck to, I mean, it could really go from anybody. I mean, even Cato, who he doesn't talk that much, but when he does talk, I mean, he tries to get some jokes in. So we go. I mean, we got Zion. He's a walk-on. He's pretty funny too. So
you guys are pretty close and pretty competitive. How do you guys continue to motivate each other each week to come out and get those picks and get those stops in the secondary?
I mean, every day we all need each other talking about who's going to be the best or who wants to be the best. I mean, we never really let each other have bad practice days. And, I mean, when you care about people like that, I mean, you don't even have to say you care about people like that, but when you do, you always try to get the best out of them, no matter what it is. So, I mean, when we see each other doing bad or something, we're like, come on, you don't want to have a bad game. You don't want to have bad practice. So let's go, let's do this. So we keep it together.
You've had a lot of big moments in the App State uniform. What would be your best memory here in the last 4 years?
My best, probably seeing Curtis Fish score that touchdown. That was probably the best moment for me. I mean, we all make plays. I mean, making plays is fun, but just seeing other guys who don't get to play that much go out and do stuff like that, I mean, that's always fun. I'll remember that forever. So that'll probably be my best memory right there.
That was a pretty cool moment.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
What is a personal goal that you've set that you're looking forward to?
My personal goal, I mean, I feel like I really hadn't had my best game, my best season yet. So, I mean, I'm really just pushing myself to be the best I can be because I know I hadn't reached that yet. And, I mean, over time, I'll get to it. But I just got to keep working hard, keep studying, keep doing what I do. And when I have my best game, and this should be one of my best seasons, then I'll be satisfied with how it is.
Well, thank you so much for
Appreciate
coming
it,
out
man.
and spending some
You're
time
welcome.
with us. Jay Boyd from Mountaineer Spotlight. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Jay. Didn't realize Tae Hayes had an interest in baseball. Wonder if he'll be rooting for Boston or LA in the World Series coming up. What about you, Austin?
I'm going with the Dodgers in 6.
Okay.
That's my hot take. Go ahead and take it to the bank. I'm going Dodgers in 6. What about you?
I think I'm going Red Sox in 7.
Wow,
I think I'm
okay.
going Red Sox in 7, so
All right,
pretty close
well,
there.
yeah,
But
yeah.
Austin, you hit the campus for Q&A game this
Did
week.
indeed.
Check it out.
Okay, if you were a Microsoft Office program, which one would you be and why?
Excel because I'm complicated.
Oh, okay.
Sure, yeah.
All right, the same answer for both. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay, we're here with JC. He is a musician. And what kind of music do you like to play?
So I like to play a little bit of bass guitar, a little bit of the 6-string guitar, acoustic. I also do a lot of lyricism. My 4th album, ZZZs, will be coming out within this month. And it'll have probably about 40 tracks on it.
Go ahead and drop your SoundCloud. Go ahead.
SoundCloud is Consciously Nappy. Check me out. You can find my website. It's consciousmmusic.online. I have 3 albums there already. But I did meet some new people at the game the other day. You know, go at Mountaineers. We crushed them these last 2 games. We've been killing it. You know, mad respect to all those big boys out in the field.
If you had that choice of fighting 100 horse-sized ducks or 1 duck-sized horse, which one would you fight?
100 duck-sized horses.
No, 1 duck-sized horse.
That's the same thing, but I understand where you're coming from. Thank you very much. Thanks, Austin. Excellent interview. So, Gray, I got to know, you doing 1 horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? Who are you fighting?
Without a doubt, I'm going 1 horse-sized duck. I think I could maybe take 1 horse-sized duck.
I agree, and I also think that if you tame it, you could ride it.
No, that would be cool.
And
See,
that's-
and like 100 duck-sized horses, they don't just be like kicking you and stuff. I couldn't handle all that.
It's
That's
really
too much.
tough. So you got it. You always 1 horse duck. Never forget. Coming up next on the A Game, we'll give you coverage of men's and women's basketball team, soccer, volleyball, and even field hockey. Stay with us.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average 4-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
The women's basketball team held their media day this week with head coach Angel Elderkin and a select group of players taking questions from media members, including Pre Stanley, Tierra Wilson, returning senior guard Maddie Story, and junior center Bailey Plummer, who led the Sun Belt in rebounds last season. Head coach Angel Elderkin spoke about the team and how they have prepared and improved since last season in the media day press conference.
Our team has been here since the summer, working hard. We've really zeroed in on just a couple things statistically in terms of little things we can control, free throw shooting, taking care of the ball. So our team really invested a lot of time in those 2 areas this summer, and I think you're going to like our style.
The men's basketball team also held their media day this week with head coach Jim Fox, senior guard Ronshad Shabazz, who led the team in scoring last season, and junior forward Isaac Johnson, who led the team and ranked 4th in Sun Belt rebounding. Coach Fox, Ronshad Shabazz, and Isaac Johnson spoke in the media day press conference about the expectations for the 2018-19 season.
You know, a lot's changed. we're on a court, longer now through NCAA rules. So it really put us ahead of the game, and having a veteran team. So I think it's really been exciting for us. I know our guys are really excited to not this weekend, next weekend, go to our secret scrimmage down the road. So they get to play against somebody else, and then once that's there, it's the season just rolls along.
We're definitely looking forward to the season starting here soon, not too far away, and hopefully we can pack the home center this year.
Yeah, I'm excited about this season as well. Not only me as the team, because we've been working hard in the summer, like Shabbat said, and not also in the summer, but like right now during the fall and preseason, we've just been in the gym a lot, and we've been practicing really well.
App State volleyball moved into first place in the Sun Belt East Division with a 3-match sweep of Coastal Carolina Friday evening inside the Holmes Convocation Center. A-Game reporter Brett Wiseman has more from Holmes Convocation Center on that.
The App State volleyball team moved into first place in the Sun Belt's East Division with a 3-set sweep over Coastal Carolina Friday night. The Mountaineers jumped out to a 16-7 lead early in the first set and then staved off a furious Chanticleer comeback to take the set 25-19 thanks to back-to-back set-clinching kills from Emma Longley. In a hotly contested second set that featured 11 ties and 5 lead changes, the Mountaineers held on to win it 25-22. The Black and Gold controlled all of the third set, taking it handily 25-14. Longley led the way for the Mountaineer offense with a match-high 12 kills and a .222 hitting mark. Becky Porter also chipped in a game-high 33 assists. The Mountaineers will be back at home Thursday night to take on South Alabama. For the A-Game and AppTV, I'm Brett Wiseman.
Thanks, Brett. The two teams will square off again in Conway on Sunday at 12:30 p.m. Appalachian State will then return home to the Holmes Convocation Center to take on South Alabama at 6:30 p.m. on October 26th in the first of 4 consecutive home matches.
Appalachian State University's women's soccer was victorious with a 3-0 win over ULM on Friday afternoon at ULM Soccer Complex. The Mountaineers' 22 shot attempts is a season high, while the 11 shots on goal tied a season best. App started strong on offense with 4 shots that were on a frame in the first 22 minutes of the game. The Mountaineers capitalized in the 23rd minute with a shot over the goalkeeper's head from Mary Perkins for her second goal of the season, giving App State a 1-0 lead. App took a 2-0 lead when Amber Anderson struck a short shot in the right corner for her first career score in the 71st minute. Audrey Emerson found the back of the net to up the lead to 3-0 to eventually have a Mountaineer victory. The Mountaineers are a perfect 3-0 on the road in Sun Belt Conference play. With this win, the team moved above 500. The Mountaineers will face Arkansas State at 1 p.m. on Sunday.
Appalachian State University men's soccer in Elon fought to a 0-0 tie in a defensive battle on Wednesday evening at the Ted Mackerel Soccer Complex. The Black and Gold earned its 6th shutout of the season and will stay undefeated at home with a 3-0-2 mark and has blanked opponents in 4 straight home contests. Both teams in the first 2 periods had just 1 shot on goal, with Juan Hernandez striking in the first half for the contest's only shot on target, while Jake Chasteen stopped Elon's Jack Wilby's shot attempt late in the second period. Reed Honeycutt and Ian Bennett led the team with a pair of shot attempts themselves. App State will have 5 days off before hosting Presbyterian next Wednesday at 7 p.m., also at the Ted Mackerel Soccer Complex.
The App State field hockey team dominated in a 4-1 defeat at the Mid-American Conference leader Miami on Saturday. Sophomore Verl Van Hertem extended her season-long point streak to 4 games with her 9th goal of the season. The sophomore rifled a shot from the penalty corner in the 49th minute to make the score 2-1. Van Hertem's goal is the first score the Redhawks have allowed in MAC competition this season. Miami entered Saturday's contest 4-0 in the conference play with a 16-0 scoring margin over the conference opponents. Appalachian State will close out MAC play on Friday at Kent State. The game in Kent, Ohio is set to start at 2 p.m.
And now it's time for our Player of the Week. And our Player of the Week this week is Darrington Evans after a strong rushing performance against Louisiana.
Jalen Moore, who was the leading rusher for the Mountaineers and the most used offensive weapon, got hurt in the game against Arkansas State on Tuesday. And Evans stepped in this week and rushed for 183 yards and a touchdown, and added a 20-yard touchdown catch to his big performance as well.
He also broke his career high last week against the Red Wolves after that injury, rushing for 115 yards and a touchdown in that game, so he's obviously a very capable replacement for Moore after that unfortunate injury.
Evans was just an underrated 2-star recruit out of high school where he rushed for 1,600 yards and 25 touchdowns as an upperclassman. In the same season, he missed 6 games and still had those stats.
A killer high school athlete for sure.
Doesn't get any better than that. And he's also an avid Rubik's Cube guy. Apparently super good at it, can do it really fast, so we should have a battle one day, Darrington, if you're checking us out.
I don't know about Rubik's Cube, but the guy sure can play football. He had offers from other schools within the Sun Belt, too. He had offers from this week's opponent, Georgia Southern, as well as Georgia State. So congrats to Darrington Evans, proving he is much higher than a 2-star player this week in the Appalachian State win and helping propel the Neers into that top 25 ranking. But that'll do it for us here today on the A-Game. I'm Gray Salter.
I'm Austen Lopp. Check us here next week, Monday, 8 o'clock on AppTV. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks.